The year was 2017, a time when adventure beckoned and the thrill of the unknown enticed a group of intrepid urban explorers. Sarah, Mark, Emily, Alex, and Chris, bound by their shared love for uncovering forgotten secrets, set out on a journey that would forever alter their lives. Word had spread among the local explorers of an abandoned asylum deep within the heart of the forest. Legends swirled around the decaying structure, whispers of the haunted past that clung to its walls. Intrigued by the tales of ghostly apparitions and forgotten souls, the group decided to venture into the asylum's chilling embrace. As they trekked through the dense forest, the atmosphere grew thick with anticipation. The towering trees seemed to whisper their warnings, their branches reaching out like gnarled fingers trying to dissuade the explorers from their path. But the allure of the asylum's secrets was too great to resist. Finally, after hours of hiking, they arrived at the asylum's location. Its imposing silhouette loomed before them, the fading daylight casting eerie shadows on its cracked facade. The once grand entrance had fallen into disrepair, the rusted gates threatening to seal away the asylum's secrets forever. With hearts pounding, they pushed open the creaking gates, revealing a long-forgotten corridor that stretched out into the depths of the asylum. The air grew stagnant, and a sense of foreboding washed over them. Hesitant, yet resolute, they stepped into the darkened hallway, their flashlights casting feeble beams of light into the gloom. The asylum's interior bore witness to the ravages of time. Once vibrant walls were now adorned with peeling wallpaper, its faded patterns barely discernible. Broken glass crunched beneath their feet as they cautiously made their way through the labyrinthine hallways. The remnants of furniture, long abandoned and decaying, lay scattered like forgotten memories. The silence within the asylum was deafening, broken only by the distant sound of their footsteps echoing through the empty corridors. Each creak and groan of the dilapidated structure sent shivers down their spines, as if the very walls were whispering secrets of the past. Goosebumps prickled their skin, but their curiosity propelled them forward. As they ventured deeper into the asylum, the darkness seemed to intensify, swallowing the feeble light of their flashlights. Shadows danced along the walls, their elongated forms resembling spectral figures watching from the ethereal realm. The explorers exchanged nervous glances, their excitement now tinged with a growing sense of trepidation. Then, as if responding to their presence, a mournful cry pierced the silence. The sound echoed through the corridors, chilling their bones and tightening their chests. It was a haunting lament, carrying with it the weight of suffering and despair. Intrigued, yet unnerved, the group followed the sound, their curiosity overpowering their instinctual desire to flee. The cry led them to a narrow staircase, descending into the bowels of the asylum. The air grew colder, their breath forming frosty clouds in front of them. With each step, the sense of foreboding intensified, and a feeling of being watched settled upon their shoulders like an invisible burden. Yet, driven by a mixture of curiosity and adrenaline, they pressed on, their shared fear becoming a binding force that held them together. Little did they know that this descent into the asylum's depths would plunge them into a nightmarish world of forgotten horrors, where the boundaries between reality and the supernatural would blur, and the line between life and death would become increasingly tenuous. The group cautiously descended the narrow staircase, their steps echoing ominously in the dimly lit basement of the asylum. As they reached the bottom, the air grew thick with an oppressive aura, and a chill settled deep into their bones. Shadows danced and flickered along the walls, casting eerie silhouettes that seemed to mock their presence. The basement revealed itself as a labyrinth of narrow, winding corridors. The walls, once white and pristine, were now marred with decay and the passage of time. Broken pipes dripped with murky water, creating a haunting symphony of echoes that reverberated through the darkness. It was as if the very essence of the asylum's haunting past clung to every inch of the basement. With trepidation, the explorers ventured deeper into the depths, their footsteps echoing through the oppressive silence. The cries they had heard before grew louder, resonating through the cold, stale air. Each cry carried a weight of anguish, a desperate plea from the forgotten souls trapped within these forsaken walls. They stumbled upon a series of small cells, barely large enough to hold a single person. The iron bars that once imprisoned the tormented patients were now twisted and rusted, a testament to the agony that had unfolded within these confines. The cries that had drawn them here seemed to emanate from one particular cell, drawing them closer, like a siren's call. As they approached the cell, a wave of sorrow and despair washed over them. The cries became more distinct, as if a voice from the past sought to share its haunting tale. Inside, they found a decaying journal, its pages yellowed and fragile. It was a relic from a former patient, a witness to the asylum's dark and troubled history. The group gathered around, their eyes scanning the faded words that revealed the depths of human suffering. The journal spoke of unspeakable horrors inflicted upon the patients, of cruel experiments conducted by the heartless staff. It told of lives shattered, minds broken, and spirits crushed within the asylum's suffocating embrace. With each page turned, a chill ran down their spines. The journal revealed accounts of unrelenting torment, of patients driven to madness by cruel treatments and experimental procedures. It painted a vivid picture of the asylum's descent into a place of suffering, where hope was extinguished, and the line between sanity and madness blurred beyond recognition. Deeply disturbed by what they read, the explorers pressed on, their determination to uncover the truth overpowering their growing unease. The basement became a twisted maze, leading them through corridors that seemed to shift and morph, disorienting their senses. It was as if the very essence of the asylum fought against their intrusion, seeking to protect its dark secrets. As they journeyed deeper into the abyss, strange phenomena began to occur. Shadows writhed and contorted, taking on ethereal shapes that danced along the walls. Whispers, soft and haunting, filled their ears, carrying fragmented echoes of anguish and despair. Cold gusts of wind brushed against their skin, despite the absence of any visible openings. With each passing moment, the asylum revealed more of its malevolent presence. It fed on their fear, amplifying their sense of dread. Yet, driven by a combination of curiosity and a desire to confront the darkness head-on, they pressed forward, ready to face whatever awaited them in the darkest corners of the haunted asylum. Little did they know that the malevolent presence lurking within the asylum had taken notice of their intrusion, and with each step deeper into the asylum's heart, the entity's power grew stronger, its hunger for their souls intensifying. The explorers were about to find themselves entangled in a battle against a force that transcended the boundaries of the physical real nightmarish world of forgotten horrors, where the boundaries between reality and the supernatural would blur, and the line between life and death would become increasingly tenuous. As the group ventured deeper into the asylum's depths, the malevolent presence lurking within grew more palpable. The air itself seemed to thicken, heavy with a sense of impending doom. Every step they took felt like an intrusion into a realm ruled by darkness and despair. The once familiar corridors of the asylum became twisted and distorted, as if the very fabric of reality had been warped. The explorers found themselves caught in a labyrinth of shifting walls and endless hallways. The familiar became unfamiliar, disorienting their senses and sowing seeds of doubt in their minds. Their flashlights flickered intermittently, casting erratic beams of light that fought against the encroaching darkness. Shadows seemed to writhe and twist, taking on sinister forms that taunted and mocked their presence. Whispers echoed through the air, like a chorus of tortured souls desperate to share their anguish. With each passing moment, the malevolent presence intensified its assault on the explorers' senses. They felt an icy breath on the back of their necks, a chilling touch that sent shivers down their spines. A sense of being watched settled upon them, as if unseen eyes followed their every move, relishing in their fear. Yet, despite the mounting terror, the group's determination remained unyielding. They huddled close together, finding solace and strength in their shared experiences. Mark, the stalwart leader of the group, encouraged them to stay focused, reminding them that they had embarked on this journey to uncover the asylum's secrets, no matter how terrifying they may be. But the malevolent presence was relentless in its pursuit. It toyed with their minds, distorting their perceptions and manipulating their senses. Emily, usually level-headed and composed, began to question her own sanity as vivid hallucinations gripped her mind. She saw grotesque apparitions, twisted and distorted figures that seemed to reach out to her from the shadows. Alex, normally the voice of reason, found himself plagued by intrusive thoughts and disturbing images. The asylum's dark past seeped into his mind, blurring the line between reality and nightmare. The explorers' own fears and insecurities were weaponized against them, further weakening their resolve. Chris, usually the most adventurous of the group, felt an insidious force clawing at the edges of his consciousness. It whispered twisted promises and desires, tempting him to surrender to the asylum's darkness. He fought against the malevolent influence, knowing that yielding would mean sacrificing not only his own soul but also the lives of his friends. As the group struggled against the relentless onslaught, they stumbled upon a hidden room tucked away in the forgotten corners of the asylum. Inside, they discovered an ancient diary, its pages worn and fragile. The diary belonged to a former patient who had managed to escape the asylum's clutches, a glimmer of hope in a sea of despair. The diary revealed a desperate plea for salvation, detailing a ritual that could banish the malevolent presence from the asylum once and for all. It spoke of ancient incantations and specific items that needed to be gathered. It was a beacon of hope amidst the encroaching darkness, a lifeline that they clung to with renewed determination. With a renewed sense of purpose, the group embarked on a perilous quest through the twisted corridors and haunted chambers of the asylum. They faced numerous challenges and encountered vengeful spirits that sought to deter them at every turn. Each step forward felt like a battle for their very souls, as the malevolent presence fought tooth and nail to maintain its grip on the asylum and its unwitting victims. Yet, as they pressed on, the group discovered newfound strengths within themselves. As the group ventured deeper into the asylum, the battle against the malevolent presence intensified. The air crackled with an otherworldly energy, charging the atmosphere with a sense of impending confrontation. Sarah, Mark, Emily, Alex, and Chris tightened their grips on one another, their solidarity the only anchor in this nightmarish realm. With each step they took, the asylum seemed to transform around them. Hallways elongated and shifted, leading them into disorienting mazes. The very architecture of the building appeared to contort, defying logic and reason. Yet, fueled by their determination, they pressed on, resolved to confront the malevolent force that sought to consume them. Their flashlights struggled against the encroaching darkness, casting erratic beams that fought to pierce the gloom. The shadows grew more aggressive, their movements becoming bolder and more malicious. They seemed to reach out with grasping tendrils, threatening to ensnare the explorers within their ethereal grip. But the group refused to succumb to the terror that threatened to overwhelm them. They called upon their inner strength, fortified by the memories of their past adventures and the unbreakable bond they shared. Mark, their leader, rallied their spirits, reminding them of the courage that had brought them this far. As they forged ahead, the malevolent presence launched a relentless assault on their senses. Eerie whispers filled the air, twisting words and echoing their deepest fears. Apparitions materialized, their ghastly forms dancing on the periphery of their vision, an ever-present reminder of the asylum's haunted past. Sarah, usually the most resilient of the group, felt her resolve waver. A profound sense of dread settled upon her, filling her mind with intrusive thoughts and haunting visions. She struggled to maintain her grip on reality, but the support and encouragement of her friends kept her tethered, even in the face of unspeakable horrors. Mark, driven by a fierce determination to protect his friends, took charge of navigating the treacherous terrain. He relied on his instincts and unwavering focus to guide them through the labyrinthine corridors. With each step, he urged the group forward, refusing to let doubt or fear cloud their path. Emily, despite the hallucinations that plagued her, summoned her inner resilience. She recognized that the malevolent presence fed on their vulnerabilities, using their fears against them. With a steely resolve, she confronted her own demons, fighting to reclaim control over her own mind and refusing to let the darkness consume her. Alex, plagued by disturbing images and intrusive thoughts, found solace in the unwavering support of his friends. They reminded him of his strength and unwavering spirit. With every step, he defied the malevolent presence, determined to break free from its grip and protect his companions from its clutches. Chris, the one who felt the insidious force clawing at his mind, mustered every ounce of willpower to resist its temptations. He found strength in the knowledge that surrendering to the darkness would mean not only his own damnation but also the doom of those he held dear. He fought back, refusing to succumb to the malevolent force's seductive promises. With the malevolent presence growing desperate, it threw every obstacle in their path, deploying vengeful spirits and conjuring nightmarish apparitions to deter them. But the group persisted, their collective determination and unwavering bond serving as shields against the onslaught. At the edge of their physical and mental limits, the explorers stumbled upon a chamber that housed the final stage of the ritual. The room crackled with energy, charged by the conflict between the darkness and their unwavering resolve. With ancient incantations on their lips, they chanted in unison, their voices intertwining and rising to a crescendo. The chamber trembled as the malevolent presence fought back with a renewed fury. The air itself seemed to ignite, bathing the room in a blinding light. But the explorers stood firm, their spirits unyielding. They channeled every ounce of their collective strength into the ritual, their belief in the power of light and love overpowering the darkness that had plagued the asylum for so long. In a final surge of energy, the malevolent presence was banished. The room returned to stillness, the air heavy with a newfound calmness. The group emerged from the chamber, their bodies weary but their spirits triumphant. They had prevailed against the malevolent force that had sought to consume them, reclaiming the asylum from its grasp. As they emerged from the asylum's haunted halls, they carried with them the scars of their battle, both physical and emotional. The experience had forever changed them, a testament to their resilience and the power of the human spirit. The asylum stood as a haunting reminder of the darkness that can dwell within the human soul, but also as a testament to the strength found in unity and unwavering determination. Having banished the malevolent presence that had plagued the asylum, the group emerged from the haunted halls, their souls marked by the indelible imprints of their harrowing journey. The weight of their battle still hung heavy upon their shoulders, a reminder of the darkness they had confronted and overcome. As they stepped out into the fading daylight, a profound sense of relief washed over them. The air, once heavy with malevolence, now carried a faint whisper of redemption. They took a moment to breathe in the freshness of the outside world, savoring the taste of freedom that had eluded them within the asylum's walls. The abandoned asylum stood before them, a solemn sentinel in the fading light. Its decaying facade stood as a haunting reminder of the horrors that had unfolded within its confines. It served as a cautionary tale, a testament to the atrocities that can be committed when compassion and empathy are abandoned. But the group knew that their battle was not yet complete. The asylum's legacy remained, woven into the fabric of their memories, forever etched in their hearts. They realized that they had been granted a rare opportunity to share their experience and shed light on the darkness that lurked within. In the aftermath of their ordeal, the group resolved to embark on a mission of healing and understanding. They sought out the survivors of the asylum's haunting past, those who had lived through the torment and emerged scarred but resilient. Their stories would serve as testaments to the enduring strength of the human spirit. Together, they established a support network, providing a safe space for survivors to share their experiences and find solace in the presence of others who understood their pain. Through their collective efforts, they aimed to raise awareness about the plight of those who had suffered within the asylum, advocating for mental health reform and compassion in the treatment of the vulnerable. The group also delved into the asylum's archives, uncovering forgotten records and forgotten names. They became the voice for the voiceless, giving the forgotten souls a chance to be heard. Through meticulous research and advocacy, they aimed to ensure that the asylum's dark history would not be buried and forgotten but instead serve as a catalyst for change. Their efforts garnered attention, drawing the interest of historians, filmmakers, and journalists who sought to document the asylum's haunting past. Their collaboration resulted in a powerful documentary that shed light on the forgotten horrors, compelling society to confront its own capacity for cruelty and neglect. The documentary sparked a national conversation, igniting a movement for justice and reform. The once abandoned asylum became a symbol of resilience and transformation, a rallying point for those dedicated to ensuring that the mistakes of the past would not be repeated. The group's battle against the malevolent presence within the asylum had evolved into a fight for the rights and well-being of the marginalized and vulnerable. As the years passed, the group's impact grew. They became advocates and leaders, working tirelessly to dismantle the stigma surrounding mental health and to create a more compassionate society. Their dedication and unwavering commitment to the cause inspired others to join the fight, creating a ripple effect that reached far beyond the confines of the asylum's haunting past. The abandoned asylum, once a place of suffering and despair, transformed into a beacon of hope and redemption. It stood as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a reminder that even in the darkest corners, light can be found. The group's journey through the asylum's harrowing depths had forged them into champions of change, a force to be reckoned with in the pursuit of a more compassionate and understanding world.